Hey friends, I just wanted to share a little, I wouldn't call it an invention, but a system that I've been working on that I'm going to term the dialysis machine. And the purpose of this system is I let my aquarium go way too long before the last water change. And on my test strips, I let it go so long, my test strips were testing the maximum amount of ammonium or of nitrate. And so I knew I needed to change out all of the water in my aquarium, but you can't do it instantaneously because you'll shock and stress your fish. So I needed to change all of the water over a slow period of time. So what I decided to do was I got an inlet bucket with clean water, treated for chlorine. I use Aquarium water conditioner. You can get it on Amazon or at Petco, wherever you want to go. And I added a little bit of fertilizer for my plants. And I've been filling up this inlet bucket. I have the tube going all the way down to the bottom, just so that as the water level goes down in the bucket, it continues picking up the water. And then it comes out into this little controllable valve. I can control how fast it drips. If I tighten down this valve, it'll drip more slowly, or if I loosen it up, it'll go more quickly. If my math is correct, I'm getting anywhere between 1 and 10 gallons per hour with that little valve. Right now it's probably about 8 or 9, maybe less, gallons per hour. And so that's the inlet, clean water from my bucket. The receiving tube is all the way at the bottom. And then I just use gravity feed because the pressure of the water in the bucket is pushing down and applying pressure into the tube. My tube is technically a little bit lower than the height of the drip valve there, but because of the pressure of the water, it's applying the force. So you get it running with gravity feed and then the pressure of the water, as long as you keep it topped up. But important thing to note there is the lower the level of the water in your bucket, you'll notice the lower the flow, because this flow is directly correlated with the amount of water and the amount of pressure pushing on that water. So the higher you get the water quantity, the faster this will drip out without changing the valve. So I find that I have to be adjusting the valve or adding more water pretty consistently in order to keep a consistent drip rate there. So that's the inlet side. I wanted the outlet to be as far away from the inlet. So inlet's coming in the top back corner. I have the outlet, this little clear tube at the bottom, not the black one, but the clear one. The black one's my thermometer, and the clear one is the outlet. And I wanted it as far away from the inlet as possible, just so I get a good circulation of the water. It takes out all the old stuff and puts in all the new stuff. And it's the same gravity feed system. Here's the same type of valve, and it's dripping, and I can adjust the rate of flow with that valve there. And I just fill up this bucket with the old water, and when it gets high enough, I dump it out. This valve drips a lot more consistently because it's based on the pressure in the aquarium, or the height of the aquarium water. So this will yield a consistent output most all the time. Yeah, so I find that I have a sticky note here, and I find that I can adjust the level of the aquarium by either increasing or decreasing this outlet valve, so allowing more water out or more water in, or increasing or decreasing the inlet valve here. But I find it'll kind of do it on its own if this is consistent. And let's say right now the water level is a little bit higher than my post-it note, so I need more water coming out. Well, what I'll let happen is I'll let the water level in my inlet bucket go down so pressure is reduced, and the amount of pressure, the amount of drips coming into the aquarium is less, so it'll exhaust the same amount with less going in. So it should bring down the level to where I want it. But I've been running this dialysis system for since yesterday around noon, and today is about 2 o'clock. I didn't run it overnight because I wanted to constantly observe it. And I got the nitrates on my test strips down from the maximum amount down to about 40. And this is a 10-gallon aquarium, and I've put about 10 gallons in. I've been tracking how many gallons I put in just with this pitcher here. And I assumed that if I started with a 5-gallon bucket, it's not going to feed through that whole 5 gallons and then put in another 5 gallons. As it goes down a gallon at a time, I just continue adding. So I figure I've run about 10 gallons through the system in total. And it's the nitrates have gone down to 40 ppm. And so if my calculations are right, I should be able to run this through another 10 gallons or so before I should start seeing 0 nitrates left. I don't do this system all the time. This is more so an emergency system because I needed to change out 100% of this water to get the nitrates a lot lower than where they were. Normally I just do regular old water changes, you know, take out 3 gallons out of a 10-gallon aquarium, take out 3 gallons, replace 3 gallons, and the fish handle that just fine. But you have to keep up with it once a week or so. This is only because I forgot to do them. Yeah, so please reach out with your questions or comments if you like this system, or if you have any suggestions how I can make it better. Please don't hesitate to drop it in the comments below. Thank you so much.